Hi guys, what's up? I'm gonna go over gold with you guys. I won't make this video super long. I'm gonna go over some previous trades and then, what I'm looking for next. We're gonna start and hold on, because I had a screenshot. Here it is. Okay, so I think the last time we spoke, we was a little bit further than this, but I was posting on Threads. If you're not following me on Threads and Instagram, please do because I'm more active on there. So the last breakdown that I posted was on Threads. It was we were at this divergent area right here. I saw divergence forming. So you guys know that divergence is when the RSI is going in one direction and the chart's going in another direction. And you want to follow what the RSI is showing you. So if the RSI is giving you lower lows and lower highs, you can expect a downtrend or you can expect to look for selling opportunity. If the RSI is giving you higher highs and higher lows, you can look for buying opportunity. So in this setup, we had a sell indicator. Okay, basically that's what it was. All right, so this is the RSI indicator giving you the signal for a sell. Now you don't take the sell, you don't press sell because you see it, you wait for a break and retest. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off for a second and I'm gonna actually pull this back some so we can look at this together. I want you guys to be able to see this. So we see a break happening. Let me play it. We see the break. Okay. They need to retest. The price is going to always come into an area that it broke. Always. Okay. It may take some time, a couple hours, so on and so forth, but it's going to come. Okay. So when you're in an area that you're looking to execute your trade, you can zoom in on a smaller time frame. I like to go on a 1 minute. I like to go on a 5 minute. Now, I'm not a scalper, okay? I just like to see what the candles are doing in that area before I press the button because sometimes it can push up higher and I want to prevent as much drawdown as possible. So I'm going to go to the 1 minute time frame with you guys. Okay, and I'm going to just refresh this. Now, this looks like a bunch of scribble scrabble, right? Like like some people are not going to understand what they're looking at. But as you see the candles form, you'll see it start to change direction. So you'll see it go from higher highs to higher lows, and then you'll see a break happen. Okay. And when you see that break happen, that tells you, okay, I'm about to fall. We have that break happening. Now, because we're on the 1 minute time frame, there's a lot of candles that you're seeing, but this is one big break. Then you're going to see it come back into the area, and then you're going to see it drop. Put a fib on here. This was point A to point B. All right, so this was the fib that I had on the structure. All right, super clean, right? You can just see it. Now we're gonna zoom out. So after price hit the TP, I wanted to see what it was gonna do next. It did eventually break and drop a little bit lower, but when that happened, I did miss the trade. So I didn't take it further down, okay? But I was monitoring this after it hit that TP. So this was like the 27 that hit on this structure. I don't know if you can see that, it's right there. I hit a 27 and then price started to change direction. So I went back into an uptrend. So if we look left, we can see that this is a zone, right? This is a whole zone. Let me take some of this off. Let me hide this. I'm gonna hide this fib and I'm gonna hide this one in the background. Okay, hopefully that's better. This is a zone. Okay, so it hit a TP, hit the 27. And if your fib was like this, you would have probably tried to hold it to this 27, which is understandable. But look left. Always look left, okay? Over here, we have all of these lower highs. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Well, this is kind of like leveled out. Lower low down here. Then we push up and we break this lower high point, okay? So that's a confirmation of an uptrend, right? So price broke this lower high point right here, and then it came back and tested it as support. Once price did that, I was looking to see if it was going to fall a little bit deeper. So I had a trend line. Oops. Hold on, hide. Well, that can stay actually. There was a trend line I had on. Okay, here it is. This was a trend line that I had above structure. Okay. And I wanted to see if price was going to break this trend line or change direction. So the same way I zoom in over here, I zoomed in when price came back to this area. Right, this is the same thing. It's just a different broker, a little bit more cleaner chart. I'll take the fib off over here too, so that's not so much going on. But we just looked at this on a different broker. So I just had the arrow there, then I had the break and retest. So what I'm saying to you guys is the same way I zoomed in here, I did the same thing when price came back to this trend line. I was zooming in on price. And I want you guys to, we're gonna zoom in on it together when it gets there. And I want you guys to look at what it kind of played out. Hold on, let me go back some. I want you guys to look at the way the candles are forming. Okay. All right. So this is a zoomed in on 1 minute time frame. This is that same trend line. I'll make it a little bit thicker. Same trend line that we just looked at. Okay, see? Now we're gonna zoom in here in this area, and I want to show you guys what it looks like when you have um momentum or when you get wick exhaustion. All right. So do you see how we're still in an uptrend here? You're still getting higher highs and higher lows, right? And it's aggressive, like it's pushing. And this is a 1 minute time frame. So what does that mean? That means that this is a big candle forming. So let me pause it for a second and we're gonna zoom out. Do you see that? How that's a big candle? It's a big bullish candle. So that is momentum. So when you're on the 1 minute time frame, and yes, you see all these candles forming, and you're like, what is happening? Remember that that's a candle forming, okay? Like, yes, you have all of these smaller candles, but this is a bigger candle that's forming itself. So that's momentum, right? Versus over here, when we took that sell, this was it wasn't momentum. It was wick exhaustion. You have price dropping some, okay? You have wicks forming. See, wicks forming, bearish momentum, then you get that break. Okay, you see the difference between this, how this is bullish, and this, how this is bearish. So it's important to wait for the candles to close. Like that is so important because you can definitely be tricked by the market. Okay, if you're not waiting for those candles to close, if it's like eight, I don't know, 807, and you see the candle push in, do not press buy. Okay, unless it's closed with momentum, you have your confirmations, everything is good to go. You're at a higher low point, everything's good to go. Same thing when it comes to selling. If you're selling and you're trying to look for a selling entry, don't press the candle because it's 807 and the candle drops some. Because that candle that dropped can definitely trick you and you can think it's falling and it's not falling. So like right here, you see how this has some wick. That means that this candle dropped some. Okay. And if you didn't wait for the candle to close, you would have got stopped out because it went back into uptrend. All right. All right. So when I saw this breaking and this retesting, I knew that we were not going to come down to the area. We were going to push up higher. We did get a break and a retest of the trend line. So that was like a valid confirmation. I remember taking a buy somewhere in this area. Um, I'll find the screenshot, but I took a buy in this area and I took that to like a negative 61. Let me see. It was like a 27, like somewhere over here. I got in. I'll find the screenshot and put it on the screen. But I took a buy there. And then I really wasn't in the market that much. We come up some. We consolidate, we push up aggressively. This is around the time of the bombing with the bombing that's happening. That happened, and then price came back into the area that was broken. Okay, so now we're kind of in this zone right now. So I took a minor buy. I think it was Thursday. Thursday. It was somewhere in here. Yeah, right here. I saw this divergence forming, another clean setup. Okay, divergence followed by a break and a retest. I'm gonna go to the 1 minute time frame because that's the time frame that I was on when I seen the break and retest happening. But so yeah, this is the divergence, break and retest, and then I took that to the negative 61.8 because we pulled back to 61.8. And we were at a support level. Okay, so I knew that that just all made sense. Like support level, higher time frame support level, um, break and retest, pull back to 61.8, a lot of wick exhaustion. It just all made sense. Okay. And then I knew price had to come back into this area anyway, which was right here. Okay. So that was another trade that I took. Where we are now, I want to see price come out of this zone, to be honest with you. Like there's some trading opportunity inside. Like I did take this minor buy, but for those of you who are still learning and still trying to understand the market, I would just give you I want to give you a cleaner setup. So wait for price to come out of the zone. So you have higher lows right here. You have lower highs right here. You need price to push up, come back, entry to buy, or break down, pull back, entry to sell. Okay, this would be your fib for your buy. So this would give you your target areas, your 5246.32, and then 61.8 would be your final TP. And then you'll get out the trade and just wait. If you're active or if you're not so busy and you able to sit and watch it, you control your stop loss too. But this is the setup that you would do if it does break and retest out of it. And if it was to sell, I would look like somewhere here. Okay. Just to kind of get into like this area. All right. And then it can even drop deeper, but just baby steps. Like, because selling is counter trading the trend. You got to remember that. So it's very risky when you're selling, especially what's happening right now with the war. You don't want to end up in a good trade at first and then it just completely pushes up on you. So yeah, wait for it to come above or below. Wait for a higher low to form or a lower high to form. Now, it can take some time for those to form too. I also want you guys to understand that part. I feel like a lot of people don't realize how long it can take for a trade to fully load. This took about 3 days for me to get in. I saw the original break. Then I had to wait for the pullback 3 days, right? Then here, this took, this broke here on Thursday, came back on Friday. This took 12 hours. 12 hours, okay? So yeah, super clean setups. I mean, same thing, nothing has changed. I just really want you guys to pay very close attention to one, when you're counter trading. I know I said this like 3 times already, but I want to be very clear on that. When you're counter trading gold, understand that you're counter trading gold. Like your selling is counter trading gold, and any selling that you're doing is always going to be risky because you're going against the trend. Lower your lot size when you're counter trading. Whenever I'm doing sales, I reduce my lot size a little bit because you have to understand that again, you're going against the trend. So it's a lot more risk involved when you're doing that. Okay, these are my alerts that I have set to see like how price reacts in these areas. But yeah, we're just monitoring price. Let's see how price opens on Sunday. Like I wouldn't even be surprised if it gaps. That'd be very interesting. Thank you guys for watching this video. I love you guys so much. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys.